Meow.
Man, that shit was loud as hell. Anybody else notice that?
Yeah, it was pretty loud in my ears too.
Man, I was in the bathroom plunging my toilet moments ago, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I could hear it in my headphones in the other room.
I don't feel like it turned anything up.
Did you guys see the good gosh, Jason Johnson, dude? Your wife is a trooper. His wife straight woke him up and said, "Hurry up, honey, you're gonna miss the show."
Oh, that's amazing. That's
Hey,
awesome.
your mic's not on, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
What do you mean?
Adam, you need to turn it 180 degrees because it's a directional mic. Remember what Adam told you?
You keep you gotta, dude.
Flip it around, bro. Your mic's
down.
back.
Flip the freaking.
There you go. No, careful. We can hear you. Hold on. We can hear
Oh, let
everything.
me mute it. Let me mute it.
Sounds like you're gargling with tinfoil, man. Oh my goodness.
Hey, someone send him a paint marker. Send him a paint marker, and he'll put a big fat arrow that says "Talk here."
Hey Joe, where's the collar of your shirt?
It's underneath my sweater.
Dang, Joe, that
You didn't do anything. It's
I know.
exactly
Better? Hello, hello.
No, keep turning.
Hello.
All right. Well, while Joe's getting his microphone
No.
set up, I'm going to say hi to all the awesome people out here watching tonight. Who do we got watching here? We got Will Speedigan, Minky Mutu. Haven't seen him in a little bit. Herman Lloyd. I bet he's having a cocktail right now. Jason Johnson, Jonathan Hughes. A lot of people are sick this week, man. We got Big Clive in the chat.
Nice.
Tiny Chingus, Big Chingus, huge picture, whatever you want to call it. Jesus Tilapia is back again. I love saying that name. That Sparky guy. That guy's here. I don't know who that is, but yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show, the HVAC Overtime show. As you all know, we're getting this much closer to getting our website done, guys. And we're going to throw some shirts up there, some merch, some hats, some who knows what. We'll send Joe a shirt so he has extra ones.
You know, we're gonna have sales training classes on our website too.
Damn straight we are from us.
What's the new $199.99 a month? We'll give you full sales training and technical training, and we're going to teach you how to be a legit.
And actually, we were thinking about trying to set up our website as like a multi-level marketing thing where you guys sell a couple shirts and you get a couple people to start sales.
There you go.
Distributorships.
You know what? We should sell vitamins there too. HVAC Overtime health vitamins. We can have like a whole section dedicated to nutrition.
Can we get a really cool pendant with the Overtime logo on it that we could all wear around our necks?
Wait, you guys don't have one of those yet?
Outside our shirts. Big.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to show you then.
Like,
and I think we're gonna host an event probably in Atlantic City or maybe in Reno, right? Because we're not big enough for Vegas, so maybe Atlantic City or Reno. We're gonna have a big event.
I see Reno. Aren't the guys from Reno that wear the short shorts?
Reno 911, Officer Dangle.
They could be us.
We can go to La Zapateria Boot Emporium and we can get some new boots. Yes.
Just think about how many people's daily tickets or whatever we can increase. Their average tickets are going to go through the roof.
Oh, yes.
We're going to have old ladies.
We are going to change the industry with our new training program.
You know how many big words between the four of us we can figure out to tell people to use to convince people that all their shit's broken and they just need new shit? Like, listen, your shit's broken. Your Johnson rod just came through the side of that furnace and it ain't going to work right no more.
Your heat exchanger is not stainless steel anymore. It's slightly discolored. It needs to be changed.
And then you bring a magnet. If you can put a magnet on a heat exchanger, it's obviously bad.
Oh, yeah. And our heat exchanger training, seriously, if there's any discoloration on your heat exchanger, it's going to fail. So you better get on it now. I don't care if your unit is 2 months old. It's going to fail. So let's go ahead and do it now.
I'm gonna put a paper airplane in front of the inducer, and if this paper airplane flies away, it's bad because you get holes in your heat exchanger. That's where all the air is coming from.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And as Clive says, we are going to have a full sales training class on how to exploit old people. It's going to be how to sell death to grandmas. That's the name of it.
You replace your furnace, I'll give you your walker back.
Yep.
See what happened here is you blew your bum dumpling.
That's exactly it.
Dumpling.
Your O-rings are all blown out, old lady. That's why you got to wear diapers.
You know what? It's heat inspection time. So let's go ahead and pull the entire heat exchanger out, all the pieces, separated into 1 million pieces, and lay it out on the garage floor.
15 minutes
during an air conditioner maintenance call.
That's right. That we're only charging $29.99 for, but you're going to get full value for that air conditioning maintenance call.
Damn straight, bud.
Yep.
I tell you, every time I do a PM, I change the TXV. I'm not lying.
Nope. And we are going to change the industry. In fact, we're going to take this sales training program and we're going to introduce it to every trade school across the country. And we're going to change the lives of the entire industry.
Nice.
Yep. We're going to do it.
Or we could
What are we going to call this? What are we going to call this class? We need a catchy name.
We do need
Sales
a catchy
Hero.
name.
Sales Hero? Sales Hero. That's going to be the name of the class.
That's not terrible, I guess.
No, that's a pretty good class. That's going to be the name of it. It's going to be the Sales Hero Training Program, brought to you by
Extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Sales Hero Training Rhino Thunder 9000.
Yes. And I think that if we I'm glad that you addressed our private chat.
Oh, Clive's got it.
Like
Clive's got it. HVAC Overcharge.
HVAC Overcharge. There you go.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Jason Johnson, you can be part of our crew because he says R22 is illegal. We need to train people on how R22 is illegal, and the EPA is going to arrest us if we try to fix their air conditioning system. So
you can't top it off. You cannot top it off. No. I could actually go to jail. They could prosecute me and take my house away.
And I'm going to tell everybody how my training sales tactics work and how when I go into the home, when I go into the home, I con the homeowners, especially if they're female. I con them into, deals, and I make sure that, if they say no to my deal, I'm going to make them feel bad.
Oh, you know what we got to do? We also have to throw in a course there for the females and even the males, how to flirt to get what you need, to get what you want. 'Cause sometimes you don't always get what you need, but you get what you want.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to hire a dolphin to come be our salesperson.
Mascot?
Our mascot? No, it's a dolphin. It's going to be, yeah.
We should hire ex-male strippers.
What was that movie called? Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yeah, sure.
We get Dan Marino.
We're gonna bring an
what are
expert
they chipmunks or what are they called?
Yeah,
Chippendale dancers. That's who we're gonna hire.
How much are we charging for this?
$199.
$199.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think we're gonna start it off on a low teaser rate, and then we're gonna get really angry because people
Will Speed got it. Sexy selling. We're gonna use male strippers to run our HVAC
there we
businesses.
go.
We're basically gonna be man whores.
Cool.
And pimping out these. You know what? Not only could they fix your furnace, but they can service you in other ways.
I mean,
ooh, look at that. Clive says he's going to make us a leak detector with really bright lights that goes off on command, so we can show the homeowner videos of the leaks.
Genius. And we just hit the button on the side, and it's like woo 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 woo.
Yep.
Yeah, see it. It's leaking right there.
That's
right.
That's what you do with the old school leak detectors. You just wave them in the wind a little bit.
Yeah.
Or you just tap the end of them.
Accidentally tap the insulation.
Yeah.
And then, oh, yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh shit! Hey, before we forget, don't forget saying hi to our little buddy Randy and Luke.
Ooh yeah.
What up, yo? Randy sent me an email recently and made a little bit of a suggestion for the show one day. Maybe do a Q&A sort of day.
On live stream?
Yeah, someday if you guys want to do a Q&A, let us know.
Yeah.
We won't answer none of your questions.
I mean, haven't we tried that before? Remember we were taking phone callers and then there was random homeless people calling in?
Yeah, you remember? What was that drunk guy that called in, right?
Yeah,
do you think he still watches our show?
I don't know if that guy's still alive.
That guy Tom.
Yeah, I think they're probably still trying to identify his body that they found in the woods.
Yeah. Bill, don't forget to also, thank our sponsors.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Jordy LaForge or what? Oh. Hey, Bill,
our sponsors
we didn't
tonight.
discuss this before the show, and I have issues here. So yeah. Let's roll them credits for all these sponsors we got. Oh, that was the error.
We'll have to go back and edit that in. I don't know if it worked live. We'll have to edit in all our sponsors.
Yeah.
So,
I think they just
go on if you're watching. Let's get a conversation started, all right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
I think Trevor Matthews might send you a cease and desist on this.
Yeah, copyright infringement there.
I can't.
Me and Trevor are actually working on something right now too. We're going to be doing a little project together, a video together.
How's that going? I'm really eager to see this.
It's going good. I got a bunch of stuff right here that you can't see. Well, you can kind of see it. Compressed
recip, right
here. No, not a recip. That's a scroll, buddy.
Oh, was it a scroll?
Yeah. Trevor had me doing all kinds of crazy stuff, cutting open overloads and more than I'd ever done before.
So is that from an actual job that you recently did a video on or something?
Yeah.
So we would know the symptoms going into this dissection?
Yeah, I'm going to edit it and bring in all the original footage and then also link the video too so you can watch it. But it was a walk-in cooler failure that was just one thing after another that led to a huge thing. So
nice.
Yep, it'll be a cool one.
BP's killing me.
I recently did a dissection video, but it wasn't with Trevor Matthews because he didn't want to get a conversation started with me.
I did see that video, Bill, and you had me cracking up with all your merch plugs in it and stuff.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that pyramid scheme started that we were talking about.
Oh, that's right. I got to give you a commission, right? I need to give Bill a commission code.
If I can get people underneath me to start selling your merch, then those people start selling your merch, then I get all the percentages from all those people.
And I'm going to go ahead and set up my own cryptocurrency, and I will pay everybody in my cryptocurrency.
What can we call it? Big picture bucks?
No. It's nothing like that, dude. It's going to be a smarter name than that. Something like Odyssey.
That's a good one, actually.
Odyssey does sound kind of cool, huh?
Cheese coin.
Aneurysm. Aneurysm is going to be the name of it.
No, that's not cool. Cheese coin's better than aneurysm.
Cheese coin.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Like, I'm going to pay everybody in my cryptocurrency, and here's digital tokens, and it's going to take off. And
I think nowadays you could legit tell people that, and they would be so
Probably
excited.
probably could.
Yeah.
Because
So-
what are you gonna do? Who are you gonna call and verify that is real?
Not many people.
Nobody.
Nope.
It's
What's
like
up with
you're
you,
off-
Adam? Why are you so quiet today?
I think
I'm not
everybody was quiet this week. It's like you guys were busy or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was
We had a
busy.
busy week.
was
I
on?
actually just heard from a friend of mine. So I know Joe loves when I talk about comfort consoles, right, Joe?
Oh, your
Love
nerd
it.
group.
Huh?
The nerd group.
Yeah.
Joe, like, let's talk about it, guys. Let's break this down, right? Joe loves it. Let's bring it in. All right.
Wait.
Let's
Save
bring
it
on
for the show.
science.
Because if you ever tell Joe anything during the week, it's save it for the
Yeah,
show.
that's why we don't talk anymore. Because every time we say anything, he's like, "Save it for the show." It's like,
We
dude, I
have
got
a weird
I got
background,
feelings, man.
guys.
Yeah.
What should I change the background to?
I don't know, but it
I
looks
like
like
the space.
Yeah,
How's that? No.
Looks
it's
like
not
barf.
terrible. It's like
No,
prom
now it
lights.
matches your background. Now
Fine.
we're on fire. Ooh,
That's
we're
cool.
fired up.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
That's rock and roll.
How about that?
There you go.
Super gay. Kind of like Trapper
No,
Keeper,
that has someone
90s.
else's stream right on it.
Does it?
That's someone else's. Yeah.
Okay. We're running out of
duper.
stuff here, guys.
we got a minimum goal.
Oh, I don't have my computer. I can't bring the toilet up anymore. It's my
Flamers.
other
Flamers.
computer.
are cool.
So can I tell my story about
Yeah,
I
tell
know
it,
Joe
man.
likes it. So let's
Tell it,
stretch
tell
this
it,
out.
tell it.
It's probably a 20-minute long story. You could talk about comfort consoles, Joe.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So my first comfort console that I ever ran, it was for a good friend of mine, my oldest friend in the world. We met in 3rd grade. We actually both moved in to this neighborhood at the same time. We were like the loners of the class, right? No friends. So we became friends. I've known him forever. He bought this big old house. And I did a blower door test, did the whole shebang. And since that time, he has decided to gut the house, renovate it, insulate it, all new windows, closed cell foam, the whole 9 yards. He wanted me to do all the HVAC on it.
Mhm.
I'm kind of at a point where the 2 guys that I have working for me are not experienced enough to take on that size of a project for me, to keep the general contractor and everyone happy, to keep it moving, because I have service calls, I have other things, right? So I told him no. I said, but what I'll do for you, let's figure this out. So we got a manual J, manual D, manual S, the whole shebang. And I'm like, whoever does this, tell them you want this followed. Okay. He got an email today. He forwarded it to me. The guy said, no, we're not following this. This is not going to work in your house. Never going to work. So he's quoting more than double the size equipment that's spec'd in the manual J.
Does the guy have any reason as to why he's not following the science?
He's a pussy.
And we kind of discussed something in the very beginning. So the very first time that I did a load calculation using RightSoft, which was probably 15 years ago,
Yep.
I was afraid with the results. And granted, that wasn't even doing blower door tests or anything like that, but I was afraid of the results because it said I only needed like a 3-ton or 3.5 ton. And I was like, oh no, minimum 4-ton. And I went ahead and put in the 4-ton because I trusted what I'd always been told to do, you know, and I've since gotten away from that and learned to trust the science. And, you know, obviously we have a reason why, because in my dumb head with my dumb logic, and I'm sure other people are like this too, it's, you know, well, we need to be able to cool that house down within 5 minutes, you know, like we don't want it to have long run times because we weren't thinking about dehumidification or short cycling during the heat season or anything like that. And I think it's so important to follow those new requirements and the new load calculations that it's not even new, but it's just follow the science, because especially with the newer equipment, with the higher efficiency stuff, we need to make sure that we're not short cycling.
The funny thing is right now, so I looked at all of his gas bills and usage. His house, before it was gutted, when they were living there, was incredibly leaky. No insulation anywhere. This house was a freaking Swiss cheese, right? And he has a boiler with a bunch of fin tube. He's at like 85,000 BTU usage for the house right now. The guy wants to install 200,000 BTUs of
Holy
heat
moly.
in the house after it's insulated with closed cell foam.
So they're insulating too.
Insulated, all new windows, everything. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Why?
wow.
I don't get it.
That thing, what like let's take a guess on how long you think the runtime is going to be in full heat? Like, what's it going to run for like 3 minutes before it cycles off?
I mean, probably.
And
Gonna
just short
cycle up and it's
cycles.
overload.
He's asking me what I kind of like right now. He was calling. I just talked to him just before the show, and he's like, "What do I do?" And I'm thinking, I'm gonna end up doing this goddamn job. I don't want to do it. I'm gonna end up doing this job. I know I'm gonna do it.
Oh yeah, that sucks, man.
You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what the 200,000 BTUs? Is he freaking running a driveway snowmelt system? Like,
My
what the-
leaky old 120-year-old house wouldn't even need all that.
Your house was running at what? You're 60,000 right now, right?
Yeah.
You're probably less than that because you just had all closed cell foam done in the basement.
Dude, I think
Yeah.
I'll show you my stuff so oversized. I think I have 80,000 BTUs on my house, and I
Well,
live
the
in
first floor
California.
is still leaky.
We don't even
as
know
hell,
what cold
but-
is.
Actually, Bill, why don't you mention that? You already noticed the difference with just spray foaming the basement, no?
Oh yeah, man. It's very evident this year going into the cold season. I go downstairs more and more, and it's like there's no temperature change. It's actually warmer in the basement at any given point than it is in my first floor, but that's for other reasons, mostly because my first floor isn't insulated as well, and the hydronic system in my house has been bastardized over the years, and they took out big giant radiators and put in little tiny baseboard heaters that don't have near as much thermal mass or BTU load, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so the basement is so much warmer. I mean, it's nice and like not dry necessarily. I do keep a humidifier on all year round down there, but it's not dry.
Dehumidifier,
A
humidifier.
right? Yeah, dehumidifier. My bad.
Huh.
But it's not dry at all. It's just it's not musty. It's not damp like it used to be, where it used to stink. It used to be damp. It used to be just garbagey.
That
down
couldn't
there.
have been good for all the bodies you store down there.
No, it wasn't. And not only the dead ones, but the people living down there too, underneath my stairs.
The ones that your illegitimate children that you don't.
They would
that
complain
just
like
sit
in
there
the
and-
wintertime, like their
Yeah.
skin got real dry, and I'm like, I don't have any more lotion for you guys. I'm gonna have to do something with these walls.
Did you ever measure up the length of all your fin tube in your house?
No.
You should.
Why?
We'll do that real quick. We'll wait.
But why? Like all the
Because-
fin tube, like I can guesstimate because it's only on in my entire downstairs here. I can probably just tell you, I got about over in that room, I got 4 foot on that wall, probably 6 foot on the other wall. So in my dining room, I got probably 13 to 14 foot.
Plus the 10 feet or no?
No, about 13, 14 foot altogether in the dining room.
Okay.
And then in my living room, I probably have probably 10 foot on that wall, about 18 foot, 16, 18 foot. Probably closer to 18 foot because it does go in behind the TV.
My wife was very polite to feed the dog before he came in here and started licking my face. So I just got like freaking dog food all in my face. Smells like
Mm,
yes.
Oh,
Yummy.
yum.
So is that
Hey,
total?
Luke.
Is that
But-
18 foot total for the first floor? Or is that just
now
a-
this would be 18 foot in the living room and what I say about 14 foot in the dining room.
so, that's
So
28,
roughly
32?
28, 32 foot.
Okay, got it. What about
That's
the
it.
kitchen?
There's none in the kitchen.
What about the second floor?
Second floor just has 3 radiators.
Oh,
One in the
yes, I heard.
yeah, one in the main like upstairs living room area, and then one in my kid's bedroom, and then one in the bathroom. That's all we have for the whole house. I feel like we should have more.
Minky Moo too. My dog is always licking his balls and his junk. So every time he licks my face, I'm basically getting dog wiener in my face. So
Mm,
That's why you bought them.
pretty
mhm.
much. Yep. It's an excuse to
It's a
get
legal
dog
way to
wiener
do
in
it.
my face.
Yeah, without getting kicked out of the dog park.
From long.
Yeah, they asked me not to come to the dog park or
Come
the
here,
dog
little buddy. And
control
you lift the
fence
dog up
anymore.
and just like rub your face in its wiener.
There's
Oh, I
a
love
good-
your dog. Can I hold him?
There's a good question in chat. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong.
What about
What
dog
about
wieners? 'Cause
dog
if
balls?
it's not, we're not going to answer it.
No, if they're pink or not, no. How do you know what size pulley I need for an exhaust pulley? I'm assuming.
Hire an air balancing company to come in.
Yeah. So you first off, where you're gonna start is you're gonna start with how the exhaust fan was designed. Okay, it's gonna come with a certain pulley based on how many CFMs the exhaust fan was
Right.
meant to deliver. And then where would you go with it from there, Joe?
I don't know. I'm thinking usually, like if say I need a pulley or something. Usually there's like if you know the motor and your pulley size of the motor, there's like an equation, like motor RPM times the pulley in inch on the motor side equals RPM and pulley inch on the blower side. So
I'm sure there is a formula that tells you
equal that
that,
out.
but like I've never had to calculate a pulley size. Basically, you just replace a pulley that's already existing.
Right, but if it gets screwed up, or maybe they're complaining, the guy
Yeah.
put the
Jonathan
wrong
Hughes
size.
says check your amp draw.
You know what? Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's how you could test it. Even for RPM, it's the same thing. If you're missing the RPM, it's the same kind of equation.
The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the most buildings or most restaurants or anything like that's going to have plans that lay out the original air balance specs.
Real quick, getting back to that checking your amp draw thing. Now, I could be wrong on this, but so say you got a motor on this machine. Where did they first, in what lab did they come up with that amp draw before they printed it on the side of that motor? What conditions was that in? That's what
a
I
good
always
question.
wonder.
They call
Usually they say the temperature, don't they?
No, the motor is going to be running at the highest rated voltage. So it's going to be rated at, if it's a 208, 230 volt motor, 3-phase, the current is going to be rated, if it only lists one current draw, like one RLA, it's going to be rated at the highest voltage. It's going to be rating at the full speed of the motor. And I mean, that's where they're going to do it. They're going to base it on that. They're going to base it on the
what kind
highest.
of work is the motor doing under those conditions? Like, do they have it hooked up to ductwork? Is the ductwork sized for like X amount of feet in a building? Is it like, or is it just sitting open?
It's
That's a good
probably
question.
it's if like whatever the ideal external static rating is, right?
Like, is it running in 20-degree weather or is it running in 80-degree weather? I don't know. I'm just
Well, they have it rated for that. I mean, there's going to be, I don't know.
like a motor chart or something where they would
That's
have
getting really technical, but yeah, there's going to be, just like with a compressor, there's going to be an operating envelope that which the engineers are going to select and say this motor is the right size to run it at that. But
Well,
obviously, you need to find that envelope of how
I've often heard that, just check your amp draw, and to an extent, I think that's right.
How do you do that? Like, what do you do? What
to
walk us
test the
through
amp
it.
draw.
Yeah, tell me. How do you do
You're just going to find one of the power wires. If it's a 208 volt single phase motor, you're going to find one of the.
Well, I know how to check the amp. I'm just saying, like, so how would you diagnose it? By amperage, like, what would you do?
Well, I mean, if you're
barrel,
diagnosing a motor by amperage, you're assuming that the motor is going to be having a problem, like the motor's overheating, it's going off a thermal overload or something like that.
Or with the pulleys the wrong size, like you're too.
It's possible. It is possible that the pulleys are the wrong size. Yeah. So you're gonna get the system operating, get the motor running. You're gonna put the exact pulleys on there. You're gonna tension up the belt like it should be, and you're gonna test it. And you're gonna find it's over current, obviously. And I'm gonna tell you the rabbit hole I've gone down, especially early. I can remember an exhaust fan that I kept burning up motors and I couldn't figure it out.
Right.
New motor, and it's like everything's fine. Well, what was wrong was that the exhaust fan was extremely dirty, but I couldn't hinge it because it was a big old exhaust fan. The wheel was just totally caked up. And at first it would be fine, but it was when it would really start running, it would get loaded up and it would start.
I think the amp draws will get you in the ballpark of deciphering certain problems, but I think if you're going to like air balance an entire building, I think you need more accuracy than just amp draws on blowers.
Yeah, no, I'm just assuming we're talking about motors. I mean, if we're going into air balance stuff, yeah, you're going to be busting out fancy manometers and not manometers that we use for gas pressure. You're going to be doing the highly accurate ones like you guys use with blower doors and stuff like that. That can read down into pascals.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I just had a question for both you and all three of you because I don't do much commercial, right? So this is my assumption: if you have a motor that is pulling high amps, you're doing too much work.
The motor is working too hard to try to do what it's supposed to do.
So would that mean would be too much airflow, so you would increase the size of the pulley?
Which pulley?
The pulley on the motor.
The pulley on the motor. Increasing the size
slower
of the pulley on the motor is gonna slow it
down.
Right?
Yeah.
So you would have less
work,
and then your amperage would come down, right?
Yeah.
But you also
Am I
have to
wrong?
make sure
Am I thinking about this wrong?
Yeah, I think I'm right. I always
Air is
I think you got it right.
Depends on what they say. Like air is load, you could say.
But also you need to make sure you have the right voltage. If your amp draws is out of range of what it should be, obviously check your voltage first.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're comparing it to what voltage or amp draw on the label. That's what,
this is a good segue. Like I don't know, 2 days ago I went on a call for a makeup area unit, the one where I posted that picture of me and my new best friend in the Facebook group there. And the makeup area unit, the motor starter had tripped, and the motor started to reset. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but it was tripped. So I reset it. I checked my belt, checked the bearings on the blower, the motor. I mean, wiggled everything. Everything looked good. So I started it back up, and I was just watching my amp draw. Now the motor, I think it was I want to say 460. Yeah, it was a 460 volt motor rated at 4.2 on the tag, and I was getting 3.8 on each phase at the contactor.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't know what caused it to trip, but I was kind of, going over some of the stuff in my head of, different ideas of what could have caused it to trip.
Well, low voltage to the building, cause high current, can cause it to trip. Towel getting stuck in it. That happens a lot of times. Things get stuck in them. A bad ball bearing in the entire pillow block bearing that every once in a while is causing an issue and causing it to jam up.
Right.
Towel?
Yeah.
Where's
a towel?
How do you get
Oh, yeah, dude. That's one of the most common things in restaurants. You'll get a service call. My exhaust fan's making a god awful noise. And you'll go there. And what happens is the cooks, they'll get up there and clean the exhaust hoods with it running. And a towel will disappear in the hoods. And the cook's like, he thinks he's going to get in trouble. So he doesn't say anything. And then 2 hours later, they got to pay $600 for a tech to come out and be like, hold on, pull a freaking towel out of because it hits the wheel and gets stuck from centrifugal motion in the wheel and then throws it off balance. And then it overcurrents and makes the thing, because you got to think those wheels, that wheel's like 2 feet in diameter, right? And it's aluminum or whatever. And it's spinning so fast that even the weight of a tiny towel just getting sucked up to one side will make that whole exhaust fan just fucking helicopter off the roof.
Yeah.
So go nuts. Jason Johnson, I wanted to point this out. Jason Johnson had said bigger pulley, lower CFM. And yeah, that's the point that we were trying to make. But you also have to remember that there's some people out there that don't understand that we're talking about the motor pulley. Because if you have a motor pulley and you put a bigger pulley on the driven side, then you're actually going to make that motor work harder and you're going to cause issues with that. So you got to pay attention. You think about a bicycle or something, right? So, you got to work harder when you go up in gears.
I always think about monster truck tires.
There you go. Good.
Versus like a regular car.
Yeah. It's got to work harder. It's gonna take more effort to get it to move.
One of those low riders with like 12-inch rims.
Mm-hmm. They got like little 9-inch wheels on them.
Little tiny one. But yeah, it's all about knowing which pulleys you're moving and different things like that. But here's the thing: like before we go start playing with pulleys.
Hey, you look hot, Joe. Why don't you just unzip that a little bit?
Address everything. Yeah, Joe, how deep is that V-neck under there, dude?
Hey.
All the way down to your belly button.
Like, is this like a Guido V-neck that like comes way down here?
Yeah.
This is more than Guido V-neck. This is Guido Supreme right here. No V-neck, buddy. This is Guido.
Oh my God!
Hey, zip it back up.
Screwing around here.
Hey, there's kids watching this.
Yeah, man.
That's why
Come on, dude. Randy's watching, bro. Come on, dude.
Also, what are you shaving?
I kept it conservative. You guys are pushing me to zip.
We got Rich in the house.
Yeah,
Rich is in the house.
There's no stubble in there.
Oh, my back is hurting me today. I don't know what it is, guys.
Yeah, I've had another fun week of back stuff.
But yeah, what I was getting at is let's not be playing with pulleys. Let's not be adjusting pulleys.
No.
Until you really know what's going on, because you can really screw some things up. If you've got an air balance issue, the first thing I'm going to do before I start adjusting exhaust fans is just go around, make sure all the belts are tight, make sure all the exhaust fan wheels are clean, make sure all the hood filters are clean. If there is some, but even if it's not a kitchen, you could have an intake vent downstairs that's plugged up. Okay, so let's make sure that all the exhaust is working. And remember something too: if you have an exhaust, whether it be on a house, on a building, on a restaurant, right? When you turn an exhaust fan on, it's going to make that building go into a negative air pressure.
Speaking of exhaust, right, Joe? Speaking of exhaust and negative air pressure, I went out to a restaurant a little while back because it was an emergency call. They smelled gas, and they thought one of the gas lines had broke, and we went out there, and what I found was the exhaust. They have this big double oven, right? And the exhaust fan had stopped working, so they were smelling all the flue gas. And we checked everything for gas anyway. I checked all the hoses, all the gas nozzles, like everything I could find, all the pilots, everything was fine. We couldn't actually find the gas leak, so I figured they were just smelling the flue gases coming out of the oven because the exhaust wasn't working. But what I didn't know is that the exhaust hasn't worked in like a year. And so I was like, all right, well, looking at your oven, I was like, your oven is having a hard time lighting. So part of the problem was it would have all these, it would falsely, try to ignite and then relight, and then it would just dump out gas. It was trying to do this. So they're smelling that. So I was like, all right, well, we need all these parts for your gas oven, right? The bill was like $2,500. I was like, but also we need to fix that exhaust because all this, all these flue gases and stuff, no matter how clean burning this oven is, they're still just dumping out into your store.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, just give us a quote. So I gave them a quote. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to fix the exhaust, but we'll fix the oven. I was like, you're not gonna fix the exhaust. I don't understand. Like, why not?
So I have check that, like when the restaurant inspectors come by, the health department.
I
They
assume
don't
so,
check
right?
crap, dude. Those guys don't check crap.
Come on now.
I think the only time before we get off topic, the only time that I check the RPM on a blower situation is a package unit, and if there is a sheave, obviously on the motor pulley. If I have to adjust the sheave and make sure I adjusted my sheave properly, you say.
So hey Joe, do you when you're doing that, do you like WD-40 the belt before or after?
WD-40.
Yeah, just grease that baby up. Just grease her up.
Squealing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You water displacement 40, so it stops squealing.
I got a video I'm gonna play right now, so hold on a second.
All right.
The water heater company says that they're having air issues in this room and they're blaming it on the air balance. First thing I notice is these little vents can get slammed shut. They keep a floor cleaning bucket right here, and I keep finding those shut with the 3 times I've been here. All right, same thing with that one. But that's part of the problem. The other part is we've got a vent right there for combustion air. We've got no vent down here for combustion air. And if we step outside, there's a vent right there that's been covered over. So there's the one up top. The one down below is gone. They recently just did fire sprinkler water main repair. They replaced the whole water main for the fire sprinkler system. And when they did that, they put new FRP over the wall and patched over the combustion air vent.
Covered it right
So
up.
not my problem.
Wow.
So that actually just happened today. It's funny, we started talking about this and then that came up. I've had several calls like this, and they make me want to go in there and tell me, hey, the air balance is off. And so the reason why I said 3 visits was the first visit I went out there during the day and I was like, okay, I found a few little issues and the air balance was slightly off in the building, but I wanted to make sure that all the hood vents were clean. And so we came back a second time. I had my guys go out there, and then I went back out today as a follow-up, and I'm like, hey, I was walking around the water heater room just looking, and I'm like, oh, this isn't our problem. Has nothing to do with it. It's the damn people that patched over that vent, and that's a power ventilated water heater too. So when that power vent turns on, it goes negative in that room.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I tell you right now, that hole, the square inch of that hole is not big enough for that room.
No.
No,
definitely not.
It needs at least another, I'm assuming another same size on top of the door or something.
And my question, I didn't get a good picture of it, but my question is, that water heater, I think, used to be gravity vent. Okay, because it has a gravity vent flue on the top of it, the kind that's open. So it has a power vent going up into it, but I can reach my hands into the actual vent. Like it's a hood that pulls outside air in too. Does that make sense to you guys?
Like a Venturi?
Oh, so is it? Sorry, I didn't even look at it. Is it gravity hot water?
No, it's a power vented water heater, but it looks like it used to be gravity. Because it's not straight piped out of the building. Oh. Like there's literally an air gap, and I can see the vent coming out the top of the water heater going into a metal flue pipe, and you could just literally see it like it's an old school gravity style vent.
If it's power vented, it got to be closed, period.
And it's not closed. So again, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, the whole thing looks like
I've seen them add like a inline booster fan, like how do you say that, the company Jurland or whatever, Jurland or whatever. Actually at a restaurant where it wasn't the water heater wouldn't light properly, and they didn't have makeup air, and they had
just sucking the flame right out.
Yeah, they had like so many hoods running. And
I had oh, sorry, no, keep going. My bad.
I was just saying, they at first it wasn't drafting at all, and it wouldn't light. He couldn't keep the thing on. Yeah, how do you say that word? How do you say this word? Somebody.
Which word? Churland.
I never know how to say it. I sound like an idiot every time I call it.
What is it even? What is it about? What is it for?
You sell like inline fans, and so you could vent basically
Who names their company something that nobody can pronounce?
It's a different
Jurland, Tajikistan land.
right.
Just
Turka
inline
Turka.
motor, right? Just to boost. I got it.
I bet you before that was translated, that was squiggly lines.
Turland
Drop the J, he says. Turland.
to Jurland.
No, Rich says drop the J, and Rich sounds like he knows English, so I'm going to believe him.
I had to. I got a scare the other day because I did a lot of this duct work in this pool area, a nice house, and I met this young kid, engineer's assistant, coming down, meeting with me. Well, I was prepared. I had everything, all my T's crossed and everything. What's he tell me? Oh, this ductwork's supposed to be aluminum because I didn't galvanize. And I know when I was given the drawings, it said galvanized. But then he's like, oh yeah, but they were preliminary drawings, meaning it still had to go to the city and they have to prove it. But usually the city doesn't have to, they don't make changes. The engineer says something, it's going to be that way. So he had me shitting bricks. I had to go look at my code books and the building code, and it says galvanized allowed because we do it all the time. And thank God it came back.
That
allowed.
I gotta say, Joe, that's happened to me multiple times with architects or whatever, where they're like, "Well, those weren't the final drawings." It's like,
yes,
why did you give me the non-final drawings?
Yeah, why are you giving me rough drafts of shit?
That's a lot of work. Yeah. So that was a scary poopy moment.
So I was trying to find a picture of it, but I can't. I can't find a picture of the actual vent, but it doesn't look right. I'm like, that's not right. But
yeah, if you could get a picture, that'd be great. Yeah, you know, like we
I'm
do.
telling you, it used to be a gravity vent, and they put in a power vented water
That's
heater.
weird.
I'm like, this isn't right. It doesn't look right. You can tell because, dude, I mean that I think that's even a condensing water heater, I believe. I don't think so. No. Oh, okay, then yeah, maybe not.
The thing is, yeah, the junior engineer, and then he's answering his actual engineer who's sitting at the desk, who never does these projects. They don't know how stuff reacts. To be honest, if it was my house, I wouldn't want to use aluminum because I think it gives more reaction to the chemical than galvanized. But whatever. Anyway, so I had to look in the code book. It says, yep, you're able to use it. Blah 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 blah. So, anyways, glad that's up.
Interesting.
Are these floor ducts? Or are they in the ceiling?
In the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
In the floor, you have to. They usually spec out galvanized, but we have to coat them with water resistant black tar, whatever you want to call it.
Mastic of some
if
sort.
It's in the ground. Sorry.
Yeah, like the
mastic of some sort.
Yeah, it's like black. It's more like of an outside stuff. So like what kind of almost like roofers use. Like it's black.
You're talking about like in the slab then?
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be in the slab. Yeah.
Coat it.
Sorry.
Like if it's going into the slab, that's when you coat it with this black shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think I brought for show and tell?
Rhino liner.
Yeah, something like that, but a little thinner, I guess.
Hold on.
Come on, let's take guesses. Let's take guesses in the chat. What did I bring for show and tell? Wait, it's gonna make this sound.
Pocket cat.
Make the sound again. Again.
Velcro strap
cards, or it's like a stack of $100 bills. This thing.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
I knew it. Oh God, Chris is so rich.
No, I'm not. Check this out. Amazon, bro.
Why are you buying fake money, dude?
Motion picture purposes. I was bored. It came up on my Amazon feed, and I was like, I gotta have that. So I bought a stack of hundreds, and then I realized when I got it, I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? And if my kid
can use that for our sales videos, we can like throw it in the air and rub it on each other.
How much was it?
Like make it rain.
I think for 2 stacks, it was like $20 or something.
No, you paid way more than that.
No, serious.
Really?
Yeah, it was like $22 for 2 stacks of hundreds.
Nice.
Make it rain.
Who spends money on fake money? I don't get it.
Even my daughter was like, Dad, why did you buy that? And I'm like, I don't know. I got bored. She's like, you buy fake money when you're bored. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, the only time I did that was when I actually used the money.
This is legit. Like, this is kind of scary.
It's pretty good. Like,
if my kid accidentally took this to school, they'd get in trouble. It doesn't feel like real money because it's just paper. It says motion picture purposes on it.
All you need is for one person to not pay attention.
Yeah.
Laska's already saying the flex comment.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I guess I should send it to someone. I'll go to jail for sending this in the mail.
He's so rich, he buys fake money that even we can't afford.
He trades his real money for fake money.
I'm sick of the I'm so rich. I'm not rich anything.
I know.
We should
Chris
start
is
a
so
5-minute
rich.
segment every week that it's called Chris is so
Chris
rich.
is so
Then we
rich.
give examples of like how he's so rich. Like, look at his backyard kitchen.
It make me. Oh, it would be kind of funny to hear you guys give your perspective on why I'm so rich.
Wait, you don't share the bathwater with your whole family?
American
Wow.
temperature control saying they're smaller than
Hey,
the regular
Bill.
hundreds.
Bill, can I tell the story about the coffee water at your house?
Sure.
Can't wait.
I thought that was good. So when we were sitting around the dinner table after dinner, Bill kindly asked me if he's like, "Do you want some coffee? We could put some coffee on for you." Okay, sure.
They're not smaller. Sorry, someone said they're smaller.
They're not, eh?
They're the
Wow.
exact size as a bill. There's a
They're
$1 bill. That's what I got in
legit.
my wallet. That's how rich I am. I carry $1 bills in my wallet.
That's way
But,
greener.
No, oh yeah, totally. It doesn't smell like money. It doesn't look like money, but
It looks like money.
Yeah, go on with that coffee story. I want to hear this.
Anyway,
I don't
so-
remember this story.
So Bill yells into the kitchen. He's like, hey, wifey poo, or whatever he called her. I don't know. Why don't you make some coffee for us? And he's like, and do me a favor, use the good water. And I'm like,
Yeah,
What?
I remember that now. Yep, use the good water. We got guests. Use the good water.
Oh my god.
The water that we buy in jugs.
not the
That's
usual
hilarious.
toilet bowl water that we
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Not
try
the
to
wa-
save money, guys. We use toilet bowl water.
Not
Really
the
know that water
with
in
the
there.
added minerals. Not the rotten egg water.
That's
That's
funny.
funny. You
Now,
guys are
you
hilarious.
keep coming over though, and you start coming over more and more. I'm not going to use that fancy water no more.
I just thought it was awesome.
It's
Oh,
80 cents a gallon, man.
Bill got the stink eye for that. She looked at you. She was not happy about it. She's like, is this guy worth the good water?
Probably because I pointed. She doesn't like when
Are
I
you
point
serious,
things
Bill?
out like that. I'm like, I had some overtime this week. Let's use the good water for the guests. We can afford it. And I slide like 80 cents over the counter. Like, here you go. That should cover that gallon of water.
Did
Laska, you're killing me,
what did
Laska.
he say?
It
What did he
has
say?
trace
Read it
amounts
out.
of cocaine in it
Oh
to be
man.
found by drug dogs. Yeah, that's true.
It's funny because I watched my wife. She makes fun. I don't know if you guys do this, but I watch YouTube all the time, like on my TV, and I'll scroll through and just watch little clips. And then there was a clip of American Made, the one about the drug smuggling with Tom Cruise or whatever. And I watched like a few clips of it, and then I'm like, now I want to watch the movie now. And my wife was asking me, she's like, why do you watch movie clips on YouTube? And I go, I don't know, because it reminds me about movies. And then I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. And then I just sit there and watch YouTube all day long.
Did you see that that foam? And I know we talked about way back about that Snowmelt system. This company actually did the spray foam. The last
Hey, we'll
week.
see you, Rich.
Yeah,
I
see
gave
you
him a
later,
couple
Rich.
Take care.
See you, Rich.
On your job you're talking about, Joe?
Yeah, I gave him a couple
Oh,
options,
I
and
told
they
you about that. And
yeah, you did. And I was
you
like,
said
"What?"
nobody ever does that.
Yeah, and then I gave him the option because I heard, and then he actually looked into it and he did it.
Wow, it's big money.
Mm.
Yeah, and I
mean-
like it. I honestly do like it.
Snowmelt's big money, and then
Snowmelt's big money. The
closed cell
margin's huge.
foam,
Yeah.
big money.
I'm telling you
Apparently,
guys, if you want to make my
making
sorry,
home service repair videos is good money too.
yeah.
Home service
Or
repair video?
so they say on Facebook. So
Mm.
I really think we have something to this new company. What are we going to call this again?
HVAC overcharge?
No, Adam had a cool
HVAC
name.
overcharge?
Sales hero.
Hero, I sit in chat,
Sales
right?
Hero. Sales Hero.
Hey,
I
as
feel
Sales
long as-
hero.
As long as we can hire the former male dancers with good personalities to be our technicians.
there you
They
go.
don't need to know how to fix nothing.
And our thing is that we're never going to hire anybody in the HVAC industry. They're all going
That's
to be
what I'm
people that have
saying.
nothing to do with
That's
HVAC.
what
We're
I'm
gonna train them the
saying.
way we want them.
That's what I'm saying.
I
If
actually
you
had
weren't,
an idea today.
if you
What did
weren't
you-
ever in a
Is this an
calendar,
idea we
wouldn't
can
hire
share on
you.
the show, or is this $1
Hmm?
million idea?
No, well, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We can share it.
Mm.
So I was
Copyrighted.
outside in my box truck today making a change fitting. I have a nice Pittsburgh out there. I have a sheet metal brake. I have the whole 9 yards, a bench. So I was making a change fitting, and there was a couple guys across the street, like siding guys, and they had one of those big siding brakes. And the guy was sitting there snipping, what do they call it, aluminum coil, and he's forming this stuff and this and that. I'm like, can't find anyone to make sheet metal fittings in HVAC. I can't. So hire a siding guy. What do you think about it?
I'm telling you, it's funny you say that because
Would they know how to do that?
They work with sheet metal a lot and they make good finishes.
Yep.
You know, one of my local
That's a good point.
companies,
I was thinking of that the other day too.
one of my local companies does rain gutters. They hand fabricate rain gutters in
Right.
off season and then do air conditioning and sheet metal. And
Oh,
they do
really?
some heating too. But yeah, they do rain gutters too. So,
See, here it's totally separate. That's like, you know, they're roofers, whatever they are, and
Well, I thought like gutter, guys who make the gutters, don't they just have a machine where they just load the sheet metal on
Maybe.
one side
I
and
have no
preforms
idea,
it and
dude.
it shoots out a long pre-folded
Yeah.
piece of
but
You-
a lot
maybe
of
I
them in
gave
custom,
them more effort or
but
more.
yeah, in custom
than they
homes, they're laying down big stuff, big sheets, big out, little whatever you want to come peaks. They're doing a lot of work, and they have to be a little crafty to.
You talking about the siding though, or the gutters?
metal? And it's
Like,
like
yeah,
roof
soft
gutters, they do everything.
around windows, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. That's probably a little more difficult.
they have the same tools we're using: snips, benders. I don't know, presses, whatever you want to call them.
They call them different things though.
They do.
I-
They're a
I
little
was
weird.
listening to them talking to each other, and he's like, "Hand me this." I'm like, "What the hell is tools he talking about?" I'm like,
Mm.
"Dude, those are seamers. Those are
Seamers.
seamers." Although I've heard other people in HVAC call them
Smack,
they call them tongs or thongs.
The HVAC
Tongs?
Sheet Metal Association does architectural sheet metal standards as part of what they do. Huh.
Does
I don't know what
Cool.
Will's talking
Oh,
about.
Jason Johnson in the Southern California desert, specifically the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs area. They have super mild winters. That's actually where a lot of people from like Canada and stuff like that, they snowbird in Palm Springs. And the air conditioning companies, they turn into landscaping companies in the winter. So like there's literally air conditioning owners, they'll run air conditioning and just do installs all summer.
No,
And then in the wintertime when they have no work, the guys are out of work, they have side hustles.
Yeah, our landscapers do that here.
Do
they basically stay landscapers. They just go to snow plowing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they
Instead
do
of
here as well.
Mowing grass.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about this, guys?
What?
Thongs as merch.
I've been saying it since day one.
Yeah. You know that
Yeah.
I said jokingly,
Calendars,
so true.
OnlyFans pages.
What would we do if we all lived close to each other? Like would we
Bad
be
stuff.
really good friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while, and then we get pissed off at each other.
I think we would be such good friends that our wives would probably hate all the rest of us.
That's a good point.
Yeah, stealing their time.
Then like every argument would either start with or end with like, you're always hanging out with that Chris guy and that Adam guy and that Joe guy, and you never spend any time with us.
I could just imagine like we could literally I had said this earlier when we were talking, but like we could buy our own place and then like it could just be our hangout place.
And not
We could
tell
just
anybody.
like all pitch in and have like a hangout crib.
We have a pond there. We go fishing.
Well, Big Clive's doing that. That's what he's pretty much in the process of doing.
Is he?
He's buying like a giant old factory or something.
Well, we're almost on that level with Chris. He could fly us in with private jets every weekend.
Yeah.
On my service, wait, what's my I gotta be careful. I don't know the name of our company, but with our new company that we're gonna create, we're only gonna fly private jets too. So
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not peasants anymore.
no, because we're gonna be having neck chains with cool pendants and stuff, and that really tells everybody that we're
I need a real long one though, so you can see.
I feel
it.
like shots are being fired.
shots are
do you
being
mean?
fired. Shots are
don't-
being
I
fired,
don't
but
know what you're talking
incognito.
about.
Incognito. Explosion.
One day we're gonna get somebody on the show from that side of the world.
Yes, we are.
That was impressive, dude.
And we're all gonna have our pendants on when that person comes on too.
It's gonna be an awkward conversation.
Or we're gonna have a big giant ring with the
Hold on.
freaking
On
thing
that note,
right here.
let's
Potter
ask the people in the chat. All right, guys, we keep going back and forth talking to each other. Do you guys like when we have guests on the show? And if so, what kind of guests do you like? Or do you like just us BSing?
Dude, that question. Okay, I like the
want to know
question.
what the people have to say.
I
What
know.
do
I
they
like
have to
half
say?
the question, but the other half is the same answers all the time. Where
What's
people
that?
say,
What is
"Oh,
it?
I want this guy and this." Like,
Joe hates all guests.
Joe
He
hates
hates
everyone.
every
I just want-
guest
There's
ever.
first part
3
was
people
good.
in the world that
want
he
guests.
tolerates, and it's us on the screen right here. We're
That's
the
it.
only 3 he tolerates.
That's it. I was surprised when he was like kind of excited about Interplay Learning, which, by the way, we're
Yeah, I
trying
like
to get
that.
Interplay Learning to come on the show and give us a live preview of their fancy learning stuff. Fancy learning stuff. That's what they call it too. Fancy learning stuff. And Joe's like, yeah, I don't really hate him.
Yeah, I like him. I think it's a good idea. It's a good way to maybe teach
Hey,
techs.
Joe, you ever watch the Jetsons?
Yeah, I used
No,
to, very little, minimal.
Oh no! Don't answer that.
Why?
No, Joe, don't.
Okay.
Don't. That was a bad. Do not even go any further with that one.
There's.
Bill is gonna end this show right now for real. Do not.
Okay, I won't.
Damn it.
Damn it, he says. A guy was asking about air in a boiler loop system. What do you guys who work on them suggest?
What are we talking about? Air?
I'm trying to change the topic.
Oh shit!
And somebody in the chat was talking about air system, how to.
And then at the end, he was like, "Yeah, you're right."
Or why does it happen?
The future does look good.
John Gotti on the show.
That is one of my biggest regrets, Bill. You're bringing up my childhood, man.
Anyways,
oh goddamn,
Adam, what do you think?
What was the question? I missed it.
Yeah,
minimize air in a boiler system.
What the hell did boilers come into this bullshit?
Somebody put it in chat, and I like it. It's a good question.
I don't know.
If we had a boiler on as a guest, would you like that?
How do you? This is usually what I do. Okay, if you have an expansion tank, I have some type of air separator, air eliminator, auto vent. I have something. And when I commission a system or whatever, I purge it, I bleed it, and then I leave the air separator, whatever, air eliminator, whatever I'm using, I crack it, right? And then I tell the customer, come down here about a week or two and just take 2 fingers and just close it.
So honestly, to be honest with you, I think the way I look at it is like you're babying the system. You're never going to get all the air out. And there's always going to be microbubbles being created. So is there like a secret? I guess.
How do you create microbubbles?
Why is my Siri popping up? You want to make sure you have the pressure at your top spots if you do have head. But other than that, you're never going to get this damn air, all the air out, because you're going to have microbubbles because of temp differences in the heat exchanger or the pumps. You're still going to get microbubbles. So that's why you need, like you said, the auto vents. And
I forget. I know I read it in that book, but how do you create microbubbles? I mean, I know microbubbles are in the water already, but how do you?
You can get it from cavitation from the pumps, but you can also get it from different temperatures, like the heat exchangers, like whatever temperature, and the water coming around the heat exchangers.
So just that shock.
So you're gonna like create. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thermal shock.
There you go, Joe.
There you go.
So
pump away. Done.
Yeah, pump away.
Listen, the setups I do, honestly, I'm doing what they say. Listen, it's usually a mixing valve, thermostatic mixing valve setup. So I'm always gonna have my pump on the supply side anyways. It's when you're branching off to, like, let's say if you're doing little air handlers or whatever, but usually when I'm doing floor warming, I'm doing exactly what they have in the pump, in the books. I have it on the return side. It's coming from factory from the return side, so I leave it there. I know but on my branch side, it's going to be always on the mixing side of my thermostatic mixing.
I've seen a digital mixing valve this week.
Sweet.
I think that before. I would like to see more digital stuff. I want to go back to the question that we asked, though, about guests on the show, because there's a couple good responses in here. So Chipmunk is saying that the educational people, he likes having them on because he likes to learn, but he says the BSing is also fun and not as the whole show. And that is something that we've all talked about, is when we do have a guest, we only have them on for a limited time.
Wait, did he say the BSing not the whole show, or the guest not the whole show? What do you say?
Oh, the BSing is also fun, but not as the whole show.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the BSing is kind of our thing, though. I think that, like, our vibe that we get off on this show is how
I don't get off on the show.
Island boy. Somebody in chat said, just bring the island boy. That's hilarious. We should.
Good night, Herman.
Oh,
good night, Herman.
Those stupid dumbass
no,
kids.
I enjoy having guests, and all of us have a different reason for having a guest on. And every one of us might think like, oh, this wasn't the greatest, or we might think this was a freaking great show, because we can BS and have fun. And but I think that's the problem, with having 4 hosts on the show. So I think we need to limit it down, and we need to take a vote on who needs So everybody point at the person that needs to leave the show, so that way we're good. Shit, we can't even get this right. There we go.
I don't know where I'm at in the screen.
We got to figure out how to make hands come across the screen.
That tells you something, guys.
Here's the thing. All right. Who's the worst guest that we've had on? Let's take a
Jesus.
vote.
Oh, I know, but I'm not going to say it.
I'll say it. I'll say it right now.
I don't even know. I bet you the person that you're going to say was the person that I wasn't there for the show.
Yes.
Well, you weren't there.
Yeah, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Like, for
Who
real.
was
Let's not alienate ourselves with that one.
Yeah,
We're going to lose all our sponsors.
Yeah.
Should we do a little segment for sponsors again? We should get
Let's
them
get
in
a
there.
conversation started.
All right.
Yeah. Let's not name the guests. Let's not name the
Okay.
guests. Let's not
Just the
alienate.
worst ones. Are we gonna have them back again? Then what does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah, but we don't need to be a punk.
All right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
That's kind of our thing, right?
we find other ways to be dicks.
All right.
Hey, you know, I do have to say something though.
What?
Our most how do you say this right? The person that's been on our show the most, we haven't had on in a while.
Big Clive.
Yeah, we need to have Clive on again because we haven't had Clive on in a while.
Agreed.
He's my most favorite guest of all
he's
time.
number one.
He always brings the thunder. He always brings the knowledge, the good conversation. He has resting frustration face. So it's always a great conversation.
And what you guys don't realize is even if we don't have Clive on the show, a lot of the times he comes in after and then hangs out for like 2 hours and just talks with us. Like we could have just been having a show.
Which, by the way, Clive, last time you hung out, we want to apologize for the way that conversation went.
What do you mean?
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Oh, you
We had
weren't.
a conversation after the conversation about the conversation.
Yeah, we
What?
did, because we realized it got real weird. It got real weird after. It was like,
What are we talking about?
Weird.
Were you not there either?
I don't
No,
know.
Joe
No.
physically was there.
Oh,
But Joe mentally was. There's been lots of times where I've been physically here, but I'm not mentally here.
Mm.
Hey, 2 shows without bad words. I think I didn't say any bad words
See,
today.
Clive, he's got it right. You're gonna have to have good technical questions for me and pervy talk.
There we go. See, Clive
We got you covered, bud. That's all we do.
Yep.
come on, Rory, Canadian compadre.
I don't know. It's getting close, Rory. Like me and Clive. I think Clive actually trimmed his beard up a little bit. So I think I'm winning the race.
Yeah.
One thing. When you come across those auto vents, Adam, those those cast iron auto vents.
Oh, you're talking about the air scoop.
Is it? Yeah, you guys can call them the air scoops.
The air scoop with the auto vent on top, right?
Yeah, those old shits. What do you do with them? Do you leave them in?
It depends. I mean, if they're very clean, maybe I'll change the auto vent on it. If they're not clean, I cut them out. You just throw them.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Mhm.
They are absolutely garbage. They look
That's what I
garbage
do.
and they're nasty. They did job in the beginning, but I just hate them.
All right. So what about the difference between an expansion tank and a compression tank? So what do you
Compression tank. That's what we usually use.
That's what you use?
Well, that's what we do use.
Who?
All of us.
Like
Apparently, I haven't been
color
good.
got
I
an
said shit
HVAC.
today, so I did cuss. See, I've been trying though.
What the shit, bro?
I said shit. I'm not even drinking. I didn't even take any edibles. I'm just
Yeah. I
wish
agree.
could
Air
drink it.
separators are better. What do you think? What's the best brand? Calefi?
I like Calefi. I don't know because it made
No
me
idea
sound
what that
Italian.
is.
I don't know. I like just Calefi's nice.
They have that really nice combo pressure reducing valve backflow preventer.
If it's a good job, yeah, that's going in for sure.
I seen a water heating system that was giving people Legionnaires disease this past week.
Oh yeah, what was up with that?
Water heating
I don't-
system?
what happened, Bill?
Yeah. So they had it was a crazy situation. They had 2 inline wall mounted on demand boilers, right? And these boilers would feed the entire building loop, right? So the hot water would go out to the building, go to all the radiators, wherever it was going to. And then at the end of that loop, once it came back, before it went back into the boilers, it would go into an electric water heater that they had sitting there. It wasn't hooked up to electricity or anything. It was just acting as a storage tank. So the returning somewhat warm water at that point would come back to this electric water heater acting as a storage tank, and it would mix with a little bit of, I guess, cool water, whatever temperature that was from the supply. And then that water heater that they had right there was what they were using to supply water, hot water to all the rooms in the building. It was a nursing home. And the water heater wasn't hot enough and just sitting there. in a
How
storage
could
tank.
that, like, I don't understand. That's like fresh water all the time. It has to be fed into the system, right?
I would assume so, but I don't know. I don't remember exactly the piping situation, because when I look at some of these piping networks, it's still very confusing. But I made that much out, And all I know is that water heater was at the end of the tank, or at the end of the loop rather.
And so were people legitimately getting sick?
I don't know. No, I don't know. The problem was the hot water was never hot enough for like showers and hand washing and all that stuff, and that's where the problem came. And then they're like, yeah, we just had X company out here, and they took out our normal water heater and they put in this system here. They redid like everything in it. Like they redid this whole system like this, and we're like, well, we got to redo this whole thing like this now because they did the whole thing wrong. Yeah, it was.
That's against health code and everything.
And that's where the digital mixing valve came into play, because my boss is like, we're going to throw this in here. We're going to do this and this and this. He busts out the pro press and he's pro pressing pipes. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Well, that's right, because you were saying they piped it after, like that piping to that domestic water should be the first thing out of that boiler. Bam. Right.
Are you sure they weren't using it as a buffer tank? I don't even know what a buffer tank is.
Well, it's an indirect, right?
Is that what a buffer tank is?
He said it was an electric water heater. And
it was just an electric water heater.
This is what I thought when you initially told us, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday.
It definitely wasn't an actual storage. They were using it as a storage tank.
I just thought they were using it to get longer runtime out of the boilers.
That's what I thought first. Like volume or whatnot. And that's the other thing. I don't know who was talking about it. I think they were using Tankless. Well, I think a customer was asking, well, why can't I just use 2 Tankless instead of a Tankless and what's it called? A tank, storage tank. And I'm like, really? Not much difference, really. It depends. Personally, I think when it's in a house area where there's a lot of showers, I would say a tank would be more beneficial if you need it. If you need it. But if you don't need it, like I'm saying, if you do need something like that, you need more, I guess, volume or.
I put in 2 Navians on a rack for this house that they have. It was like 14 or 15 people in the house with all the kids,
and two, and that's it.
2 on a rack, and never got a call back. They were good. I
can see it maintaining.
They wanted 1. And I'm like, there's 0% chance I'm installing 1. No way am I doing that.
I've seen this a couple times where I'll see 2, wall-mounted boilers, right? And the supply lines going out to the loop, like it looks like one supply. I mean, it's the same pipe. The supply line goes into the next boiler as like, I'm pretty sure it was like the return feed. It almost looked like it was some sort of boiler cascade system.
Right.
Now, wouldn't that take the hot water out of the one boiler, put that hot water into the second boiler, and wouldn't that second boiler like go off on some sort of thermal limit because now it's
or if it's a modulating boiler, it just won't modulate as much, right? Because the water's at wrong temperature, right?
That could be.
And you're right about that cascade, because if you think about it, like when you see the compressors and there's the compound, when you see them in series and parallel, in series you'll get more oomph. And I think in parallel, you get more volume. Just like if you put 2 hydronic pumps in parallel, you're going to get more volume. But if you put them in a series of pumps, you're going to get more push.
Alaska says they're cycle rotate, which is the first serious thing he's ever said on any of these chats. Tandem boilers, they cycle/rotate. So like a lead lag, I guess. One's on, one's off.
Yeah, you can set up lead lag. And that's tankless we're talking about too, right? I don't know. I think like I know I did 2 tankless, and they were in a kitchen, in a restaurant, in a kitchen format, and I can see it. They want, let's say, a certain time, bang, a lot of temperature, high temperature demand. They need that high. Put 2 of them in. Who cares about the storage tank?
Speaking of bang, I got a good story I got to tell you.
Go ahead.
So last week we were doing exhausts over at a restaurant. Wall-mounted exhaust, by the way, real dumb. Oh, they do suck. They suck so bad. They suck and suck and suck. They're horrible. I hate them.
What sucks?
Was it up on like a 10-foot ladder too? Like horrible.
No, these ones weren't that tall. It was like maybe 7-8 foot off the ground. Still, it's just so stupid. I think they're so stupid. Anyway,
I swear, with a wall-mounted one, it's almost easier to get the damn thing off the wall and work on it on the ground. Like it's just dumb trying to fumble.
What are we talking about? I wasn't paying attention.
Wall-mounted exhaust.
So we have these wall-mounted exhaust, and they had sent us. So this is a 2-part story, right? So don't let me forget the second part, because the second part's more fun than the first part. So the first part of the story is they sent us these the wall-mounted exhaust, right? And they're VFD driven exhausts. And the one that they sent us was the VFD is a 208 volt, right? And we're like, no, you sent us the wrong one because this is this building doesn't even have 208 3-phase. They have 120 volt single phase. So we're like, all right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you the VFD drive, 120 volt VFD drive for that system. But we're like, we don't need to change the motor because the motor says 208 3-phase. They're like, no, don't worry about that. That's not going to be a problem. The VFD will be able to take that 120 volts and somehow magically convert it over to 208 3-phase.
Yeah.
How in the hell does it even do that? I've been trying to find documentation. I think I talked to Will Speed about this, and I don't remember if I messaged Clive about it yet, but that was on my list of things to do. How does a VFD take 120 volt single phase, magically transform it, and somehow trick this motor and divide it up and to make it 208 3-phase and satisfy this 208 3-phase motor? And it was just this motor wasn't some sort of like electrically commutated motor. It was just a bare ass motor, just 3 wires going to it as far as I could tell.
Yeah, first off, I didn't know that you can convert 115 to 3-phase, but I knew that you could take a 208 single phase with the right VFD and convert it to 3-phase. Yes, I do know that's possible. It's a phase converter, and it depending on the VFD, like you can do it with this lens drive.
I'm assuming
lens drives, you can do it with these, but I've always wanted to, but they also make a drive just for phase conversion too. But supposedly, I've read a bunch of documentation of people that you got to tweak a bunch of stuff and get mad scientist on it, though. So
Phil W, like a cap, like a capacitor, I'm assuming shifts phase motor.
It does all kinds of stuff with capacitors. And things, but yeah, you can.
I've been trying to find some actual documentation that really breaks down the science of it, but I haven't been able to really find much that satisfies that tidbit of curiosity.
Clive on.
Yeah, we could. Let's talk to Clive, or maybe even after the show, Clive. I want to talk to him because I want to know how to take this one and without getting crazy geeky. I want to make this a phase converter right here because I want to have 3-phase at my house. But I know you have to be careful to not overload it.
Yeah, go ahead with the second part.
Second part of that story. So as we're like working on these exhausts, me and the other guys, all of a sudden, right next door to this where this restaurant is, this ghetto ass apartment complex, we start hearing all these gunshots, and turns out there was a drive-by like right next to us. Some guy with some sort of automatic gun of some sort fired off like 15-20 shots. All of a sudden, cops are swarming, ambulance comes because some guy actually did get shot pretty bad. And pretty bad, like there's ever a good way to get shot, but I guess this way was pretty bad. And so the cops are all there, and like everybody's coming out, news shows up and everything. I'm like, oh shit, man, I was right outside. I'm like,
are you the guy standing behind the reporter going fuck, trying to get it on camera?
I actually told my coworkers, like, hey, let's go take a walk around the corner and just walk casually behind the camera. But nobody wanted to do it. I was like, come on, dude.
T-Lech apparently says that it uses triax, Bill.
We tried to learn about triax once with Clive. That didn't work out.
Yeah, because I still don't fully understand how triacs work. I know what they do. Triacs are, if I remember correctly, it's like a check valve for voltage where it can go in. Or no, is that a diode? I can't remember. I think triacs. What do triacs do again?
I remember Clive said, "You don't really need to know about triacs. They just do this, and don't worry about it."
Triacs, are those things that
let's not go down that path again. We're not even going to be able to explain them.
See, I think part of my problem is like I want to know the answers, but my brain might not be powerful enough to actually understand those answers. So
Bill W just said triac is a binary relay. What is binary?
I think it's a boy and a girl at the same time.
The last time I seen a triac was on this unit that they were using them as they thought
a unit.
Dry contacts, and they were hooking them onto the boiler after to give a boiler call, and it wasn't working because they carry voltage. If I'm thinking of what a triac is,
but how does it triac? Like Clive says, triac switch AC power, AC to DC.
Yeah,
to AC.
T-Lech says Clive got it right.
But how do they do that? There's no moving parts in it. I know Clive, he told me this before, and I feel bad because I didn't remember it. I don't remember it now, but I don't understand. Like, there's no moving parts. Like, how does it do it? How does it do that thing that you say it does?
I don't know, dude. It's just like the Tom Hanks movie.
Hambone says,
or whatever.
Instead of a stop sign, it's like a fork in the road.
How's that brownie, Adam? Did you take a brownie, Adam?
No, I'm just tired.
No, but I think it's time we wrap it anyways because I could smell dinner in the other room and I'm hungry.
What are you
So,
gonna
I
eat?
could smell a plugged up toilet.
my
in
wife
the
made
room.
some like mushroom soup or something. Smells freaking killer.
mushroom
True.
soup.
Diodes only let voltage in one direction. I think Sean was saying
Yeah,
something.
see, diodes are the check valve like
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Make a little diode LED light. Anyways,
Hey Joe, why don't you take us out? You could, you know,
well, that means I could tell these mofos to hit the damn like button. That lazy button. Hit the friggin' thumb up. You know that thing that looks like this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tika, 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 tika.
I bet if you rub a wet finger on Joe's chest, it'd make a squeak.
hey Joe,
Yeah.
what's up with that Rubik's Cube you got up there?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, what's up with that?
don't ask.
Don't ask. We're asking.
Yeah,
I just didn't bother. Yeah.
you didn't bother what? To move it? To
Yeah.
solve it?
Yeah. Don't get tired.
Check that out. Dude, we can do all kinds of cool stuff.
Hey, I
What?
didn't tell you guys. I made Chris a co-host of the show. Just
I heard. Well, yeah, I was backstage and I was like, "How did I get up? Adam's not here."
Yeah.
And he did his magic god
Solid
powers.
state switch.
I could play with Joe's microphone. I could do all kinds of cool stuff.
Can you get me
Boom.
off of main screen, please? And let's end this.
Well, that's what we brought you up here so you can end the show.
I did. I had told you. Hit the likes. I'll see you next week. That's it.
You gotta like you weren't talking to the. You need to look at the people. Like
I'm
you're
looking.
looking to the
I'm
side.
looking.
It looks like
Take
you're
your
looking at us.
sunglasses off. Take your sunglasses off and give
Yeah.
them some.
Nah,
freaking-
I wear
Look
them
right
at
into
night,
the-
and that's
look
the
right
bottom
into the
line.
camera.
Dude,
That's
you gotta
bad.
you gotta like be real with them. You know, you
Mhm.
gotta talk to the viewers.
Don't do drugs,
With being
kids.
Canadian, that's-
In
that
school.
suggests that Canada is really big.
Drink your milk.
Right.
And don't wear undershirts with your freaking workout.
Yeah, when you're doing live shows, who needs underwear?
Mickey Moose.
If you don't
Fits
end
me
this show right, Joe, I'm gonna make Adam, myself, and Bill. I'm gonna kick us all out of the
Oh
stream.
yeah,
That's
Sean.
gonna be you left.
They're vintage dinosaurs from the 80s.
And then
Imperial.
Joe won't be able to leave the stream without people on it. So like because if we all left and then we just left Joe on there, then Joe has to stay until one of us comes on and ends
Adam,
it.
do me a favor. Can you see Daniel? That's right, Chris. I hear what you're saying. But
Danny
can you
Norian?
get Daniel Alvarado message and can you put it on the screen, please? Can you put it on the screen?
Joe is the realist.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that
That's-
means either. That's like a big Canadian
Never
word
heard
or
it.
something.
That's why.
You're
You know,
real. I don't
something-
know.
Like
Never heard
as in you're a realist or like you're the realist person?
Yeah, I'm the realist person. Just keep it that way. Oh, by the way, a triac is a 3-terminal electronic component that conducts current in either direction when triggered. Just like I'm triggered right now. So you
What
can end the
triggers
stream.
it?
I'm gonna end my shit right now. Leave studio. God.
You want to end the show?
Mhm.
Unzip
Yes.
that shirt. That's gonna end. Everyone's out of here and like, oh,
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Kitty Jones.
Oh yeah.
What'd you do?
We ran out of money.
Hold on, I got some
We
for you
ran out
right
of
here.
tokens.
I forgot. Can I get a couple?
I'll mail
Can I
you.
get a couple more,
Hey,
mommy?
Can we get a super chat to finish these credits out
Oh
here?
my god.
We don't have enough funds in the bank account.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They just shut off Adam's internet.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks Rich for that super chat.
Aluminum. I can't say it's like aluminum. Bill
Aluminum.
Speed. Bill. T-Latch. I've seen that Quest system. I don't know if my mom's still alive, but pretty cool. I haven't seen one yet or worked on one. I don't know how they are.
Dogs bark. Dog bark. Oh man.
Mickey
That
Lou.
Triac
You know,
VFD stuff, man. I
I
think
know.
I need like a month-long course to fully understand that. I might not even fully understand that. I've heard electricity still isn't fully understood.
oh, Hamilton just ordered his Vito. He sold his house, and what's the first thing he gets? A Vito. Right on, buddy.
He sold his house for an ass load of money. I gotta become best friends with him.
I need,
Maybe I'll borrow $1.
I need some money. Oh, Sean S just super chatted. There you go, Sean.
Oh, thanks, Sean.
You're
Oh,
the
that's
man,
how we
dude.
should keep the show.
Sean's
We
OG.
just-
Him and his brother are awesome.
We just pause
Next
everything
time.
until super chats come through.
Next
Like
time,
no more.
like, in the
Everybody just
middle
gets
of the
muted.
show. Middle of the show, we'll like send out a secret chat. We'll just freeze, and then we'll be like, we can't keep going unless we have a super chat.
That's like dry begging.
So much more attractive right now. The show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Run the slide. Oh, now it's not.
No, it's not.